This is the Daily Poem on the Close Reads Podcast Network. I am Joshua Gibbs, filling in once again for David Kern. My latest book, Something They Will Not Forget, a handbook for classical teachers, is available now on the Circe website. Today I'm going to read a poem by Siegfried Sassoon. Sassoon lived from 1886 to 1967. He was famously a good friend of Wilfred Owen's and best remembered as a war poet. Best remembered as a poet who did not write nationalistic poetry, who did not write poems that exonerated the war effort, but spoke very frankly about the war, as did Wilfred Owen. I don't have a brutal poem to read to you, though. I have Sassoon's most generous poem, and I really believe one of the most generous poems ever written. The poem is Everyone's Saying, and I have such a strong affinity for this poem that when my first child was born, the birth announcement that went out contained a lengthy portion of this poem. It's quite short, and the kind of thing that you could memorize in about 10 minutes, and might be a good thing to repeat to yourself often in dark moments. Everyone's Saying by Siegfried Sassoon. Everyone's Saying. Everyone suddenly burst out singing, and I was filled with such delight as prisoned birds must find in freedom, winging wildly across the wide orchards and dark green fields, on, and out of sight. Everyone's voice was suddenly lifted, and beauty came like the setting sun. My heart was shaken with tears, and horror drifted away. Oh, but everyone was a bird, and the song was wordless. The singing will never be done. I suppose that there's, really two ways in which the poem presents itself to be read. One is an expression of joy at the thought of the war being over. World War I, that is. But one could also read this poem as an account of the joy that will be felt when every war is over. And the poem's always had this eschatological quality to it, because it's not really about our side winning. It's about everyone having a reason to rejoice. And the rejoicing is born out of this escape from something terrible. And it might be that Sassoon imagined it as an escape from trench warfare, or escape from the possibility of sudden and surprising death. Or this might have been the way that he imagined the eschaton coming. It might have been the way that he imagined the return of Jesus Christ and the reconciliation of all things to God. The poem is Everyone's Saying by Siegfried Sassoon. Everyone's Saying. Everyone suddenly burst out singing, and I was filled with such delight as prisoned birds must find in freedom, winging wildly across the white orchards and dark green fields, on and out of sight. Everyone's voice was suddenly lifted, and beauty came like the setting sun. My heart was shaken with tears, and horror drifted away. Oh, but everyone was a bird, and the song was wordless. The singing will never be done.